Welcome back to another video about how to heal adoption and narcissistic abuse. If you are new to my channel, my name is Theodora. I work as a spiritual and psychological counselor, and I am an adoptee myself. I want to use this video to talk about some of the painful issues that we are facing when being an adoptee and when growing up in a narcissistic adoptive family. I want to talk specifically about how we can rebuild our life after being abused for so many years, after carrying this abandonment wound from the most early period in our life where we were separated from our biological mother, and how we can get back up on our feet and create this life that we all came here to also experience. When children are exposed to very severe trauma early in their life, and if this trauma is reoccurring and they're being continuously exposed to this trauma when they grow up in a narcissistic adoptive family, for example, it challenges the child in developing a healthy sense of self. Many experts, they say that the child doesn't even develop any type of authentic form of identity because they are too focused on surviving one severe traumatic event after another, and they're too focused on coping with it, finding strategies so they can survive and so they can continue being alive and getting some of their needs met. When adopted people, they experience, first of all, to lose their mother, and then they're being adopted, and then they're being abused throughout their whole childhood by strangers they have to call mom and dad. It makes a huge impact in their core self. And some of the things I have seen in my work with adopted people is that they were never given any chance to develop any healthy sense of self in these households. What happens then is that they become so fragmented because it's so disturbing to their identity formation, their personality development, that they were supposed to focus on as children, because that's a natural part of being a child. And not only that, they're being very disturbed on a spiritual level as well, because spirituality and authenticity are the same thing. And if we can't be authentic, even when we're children, if we're not allowed to be authentic, if we're not allowed to express ourselves authentically, express our needs, express our emotions, express our sensations in our body, then eventually we're going to shut down for that part of us, the most authentic part of us, because it is our core self that we are experiencing these emotions, thoughts, needs, and sensations from. And when we have shut down from that, and when we have shut down for that, we become someone else. We have no choice but becoming someone else. We develop this kind of sub-personality. You can almost call it an adoption trauma personality, an abuse personality, because it's that painful and it's that damaging for us. And we can't continue like that in our adulthood, but we tend to continue because we are maybe not ready to change it. We're maybe not ready to look at how to change these patterns, how to develop new healthy patterns. And so we continue to actually abuse ourselves through self-sabotaging behaviors. Because this abuse and because the most severe trauma happened when we were infants, who are we then if we were not allowed to develop any healthy sense of self? If we're not allowed to be ourselves, exist in the way that we want to exist, then who are we when we are finding ourselves as adults, trying to navigate adulthood, trying to navigate life, trying to navigate our relationships with other people, our friendships? Who are we? And what do we have within us to help us build this relationship to ourselves? Because that is one of the most important things when we find ourselves in adulthood, trying to build that life that we really, really want to live, but everything within us is stopping us because we haven't let go, we haven't healed from the abusive childhood that we experienced. One of the ways we can look at this is, well, if we don't have anything left within us that's not broken, that's not damaged, that's not too damaged by trauma, if nothing remains at this point, then there is nothing to build a new foundation on, right? But that is not the case. We all have a unique part of us that's completely untouched by all the trauma, all the severe abuse that we experienced throughout decades of our life. There's a part of us that is not giving up. There's a part of us that nudged you towards this video, maybe nudged you towards some of the other videos that I have on my YouTube channel or on other YouTube channels, or that nudged you to follow certain people on social media, or that nudged you to spend more time in nature or begin journaling. That part of you is the part that you're going to build your new foundation on. That part of you is the part that still believes in you, that's not too affected by the toxic shame that is right now stopping you from moving towards the life that you really want to live. There is a part of you that's going to help you succeed, making the changes that you truly wish to see. And this part of you is going to help you heal your wounds, and it's going to help you create the life that you really, really want. And I'm not going to label what this part of you is called, because you are the only one who knows. I know what my part of me is called, that helped me make it to the other side, and that helped me make the changes that I needed in order to live the life that I'm living now. And that part for me is the eternal part. It's the part that never dies. It's the part that remembers my past lives. It's the part that remember when I was in my mother's womb. It's the part that is already existing in the future. It's the part of me that's so highly connected to the whole universe. And what I found in my journey was that the more that I tapped in to that part of me, the more I was also receiving support from the universe and from external forces, external circumstances that the universe was helping to send in my direction. It's okay if you don't believe in that we have a life after death and that we're connected to the universe. You are the expert in your life, and you get to decide what you want to call this part of you, and what kind of relationship you're going to build with this part of you. But what I found was that the more time I spent with this part of me, the more it grew. And the more it was growing into becoming the most dominant part of me. And eventually it was replacing the traumatic adoption personality that I had developed from being adopted and growing up in a family that did not align with how I needed to be treated. This is where I think life is very, very interesting and very unique and very magical, because we are the only ones who can walk this path. We're the only ones who can create this relationship with this part of us. And we're the only one who knows how to create it. And we can't even receive any validation from others that, oh, now we are actually aligning with this part of us, or now we're doing the right thing to strengthening the relationship with this part of us. We can't really find this validation outside of ourselves, in our friends or family or whoever it is, because they don't know where you're going. They only know where they're going. Maybe they don't even know. Maybe they're also about to find out, but they don't know where you're going, and they can't see what you're seeing. You're the only one who can see that. And even though you can't see it yet, you have a sense of it in here. You can feel it in here. I don't doubt that. You can feel it in here. Even though it might still be blurry, it might still be foggy, you can still feel it in here. And that's what I'm gonna make you keep going towards building this relationship and eventually creating a whole new foundation within yourself. As I've said in other YouTube videos and also on my social media, when we grow up in a narcissistic adoptive family, the adoptive parents, they're designing a foundation. They are choosing which elements we should have in order to build a foundation in our life. But the problem is that narcissistic adoptive parents, they are so self-focused, they are so self-centered and self-absorbed that they are making sure that the elements they're giving you to build this foundation is not going to serve you, it's only going to serve them. That's the whole point of being a narcissistic person. It's to fulfill their own emptiness, their own feeling of inadequacy that's penetrating, that's keeping them up at night. These elements that you are given are most likely completely useless. And these are the elements that you need to replace with that part of you that keeps going, that still believes in you, that still believes in your worth of living the life that you also came here to live. The life that you lived in your adoptive family that abused you is not everything. And if you are not in contact with the adoptive parents anymore, then I hope you feel a liberation to begin building this life. I'm not saying that you can't build it if you're still in contact with them, but it might be a little bit more challenging and it might take a little bit more time, and there might gonna come some bumps on the roads, but it's not impossible at all. So this is not an invitation to cut the contact with them. It's more to say that I hope that you find yourself in a place in your life right now where you feel some kind of liberation and freedom and inspiration to begin exploring this part of you and begin building a relationship with this part of you. And as I said in one of my latest YouTube videos as well, The moment you begin blossom from within, and the moment this part of you is shining through you, and that this part of you becomes your personality, your own unique personality. When you develop your personality from this place, from this part within you, you're gonna attract the most amazing people that you can ever imagine. You're gonna attract people that make your adoptive family look like shit. You're gonna attract people that's gonna validate, acknowledge, they're gonna cheer on you, they're gonna love you unconditionally, and they're gonna give you a totally new experience of what it means to relate to other people, of what it means to be in a friendship with someone that's healthy and good for you and that wants the best for you. And you're gonna meet partners that's gonna show you what real love is, not the fake love that the narcissistic adoptive family tried to convince you was the only kind of love, but real love, authentic love, true love, bulletproof love, if that's even a word. And I'm gonna continue being here, rooting for you, rooting for your success, rooting for your recovery, rooting for your development of a relationship with this part of you that's gonna make your life transform in the most amazing way. And I would love to hear if you have anything specific in regards to creating the life that you want me to talk about in future YouTube videos. Then you can leave it in the comment. There is also contact information in my bio, and you can also reach out to me on social media. There's also a link to that as well in my bio. I just really want you to succeed with this, because I know you're gonna succeed. And it's okay if you don't believe in it right now, but I'm not gonna stop believing that you will succeed with this, and you will shine your amazing light, and you will attract the most amazing people in your life, and you will create the life of your dreams. So don't give up. You're too important to give up. The world needs you. The world needs your light, your soul, and all your gifts that you have within you. And maybe the first step was to watch this video and then see what happens. That's all I have for you today. I hope this video could give you some reassurance, some validation, some hope. Send this to a friend who needs to watch this, who needs to listen to this. We really don't know how many adopted people are struggling, how many adopted people were raised in abusive families. I still get surprised about how many messages I receive, how many new people that find me, that shares with me how painful their childhood was. So send it to a friend. That might look like they're fine, but they're not. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.